Lisa, I'm sure you're thrilled to have your story start off this show. What's the title of your story?
I think this one's The Creepy Cave.
The Creepy Cave. Sounds rather terrifying. So what we did, we took the story that Lisa wrote, we handed it to Maureen Welsh and Al to give it a dramatic reading. We took it to a local playground, scared all the real kids away, sat down at a picnic table, and this is the result. This is word for word from Lisa Runge. We promise.
This story is called The Creepy Cave by Lisa Runge. It is a scary story about cave skeletons and men turning lights on.
The Creepy Cave by Lisa R. Grade 3 or 4. One day my friend Jill told me to see her secret cave that she found. I was very curious, so I went with her. When we got there, she pushed me in.
You go in first,
She said. I thought to myself, why me? I went in and saw a skeleton right there in front of me. Ah! I said out loud. Shh, she said.
That was my practical joke. Now let's get out of here.
I could have killed Jill for scaring me like that. Suddenly, the lights went out. I couldn't see anything at first, but then my eyes got used to the darkness. This time, it was Jill's turn to scream. I think she screamed even louder than me. She started crying. When I heard her, it got me hooked too, and pretty soon we were both bawling. Then, out of nowhere, came a shadow. A spooky shadow that had both sharp and round edges. We stopped crying. I held my breath until...
Hey, you girls, what are you doing in a coal mine factory?
That shadow was a man! Of course, I can see it now. The man was holding a sharp tool. That was it. Jill said, "We were scared because the lights went out, sir."
Oh ho! We were just testing them to see how they work. New ones, you know.
"Well, thank you, sir," I said. "We will be leaving now." The lights went on again, and we went out. The end.
Idea of a practical joke was pushing her into a coal mine well. Just, oh, that was my idea for a practical joke. Let's go now.
Yeah, all
Let's go
right,
on.
see ya.
Yeah. Oh my God, did you break a couple of things? No? All right, good. It's funny though, hey?
I want to know where Jill got a skeleton from.
She got a skeleton? I missed that.
Well, yeah, no, in the cave, they went in, and in that dark cave was a skeleton, and that's what was so scary at first.
Well, I don't have good retention, story retention clearly. Where?
No, it's right there. Look, skeleton.
Oh, I went and saw a skeleton, right? So now why didn't she deal with that in the story? Wouldn't she have said to the guy that was testing the brand new lights, hey, by the way, there happens to be a skeleton in here?
Well, no, you really didn't pay any attention because the skeleton was the practical joke. It was Diane, or it was
I thought
Jill's...
pushing her in the hole was the practical
No,
joke.
and there was the skeleton, and then that's what was scary.
So where did how old can her girlfriend be? 8? Where did she get the skeleton
Med
from?
school. Pre-med school.
Pre-med school.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
It's good.
Okay, well I was too
No, it's
busy
good.
reading. It was too busy reading. I didn't retain, because I should have read it in my head first. Always read in your head first. That helps you retain.
Well, Al and Maureen brought forth some really interesting questions about the validity of the story, but of course you were 8 years old, and we actually had a psychoanalyst go through your story, and we came up with some very, very interesting questions that will lead you to formulate your own conclusions, but I'll just highlight a few of the more interesting words and terminology in this script. One day my friend, Jill, told me to see her secret cave. And because you were very curious, you decided, yes, you would go and see her secret cave. And when you got there, she pushed you in. And you saw a skeleton in the closet, perhaps? What else else is in closets that needs to come out of closets, Lisa? Just thinking. Ah, she screams, loud enough to wake up the town, and shh, it's her practical joke. You know, why these feelings of anger towards Jill? You know, you could have killed her for scaring you like that. Did she make you face something that was buried in your secret cave? Just moving on. Suddenly, of course, in your story, the lights go out, you can't see anything, and then you get used to this darkness, and it's Jill's turn to scream, and she screams louder than you, and somehow this gets you hooked. We're just throwing that out there, but you know, you're both crying at this point. You forgive. This is good. It's only natural that you forgive your friend after you've shared this exploration of your curious secret cave. Then out of nowhere comes a shadow, a spooky shadow in your own words, and that shadow was a man. With sharp and round edges. Of course, he yells at you, "Hey, you girls, what are you doing?" And you say, "I see it now, I can see it now. The man was holding his sharp tool." It's frightening and perhaps traumatic for two young girls curious about their secret caves. And your answer is you were just testing them to see how they work, because they're new ones, you know. New, virginal, first exploration of the cave. This was all new to you, and you thank Sir later. And then at the end of the play, you come out of the cave. So all of this to say, Lisa, it would seem from our psychoanalysis, the very careful analysis that we gave us three highly trained professionals backstage, that certain things were coming to light about how you felt as a child, particularly towards your best friend. And I think the audience has clearly followed your own words to formulate conclusions similar to mine. Now, don't be embarrassed. This is something that young girls go through at some point in their life. That's right. It's incredibly easy in hindsight. It's quite obvious for us all to see that you were afraid of the dark. Ba-doom-tsh. Just kidding. Seriously. Did the audience have any questions they wanted to ask Lisa Runge about her story? Anything that comes to mind? Yes.
Do you remember writing that story?
I don't. I really don't. I remember Jill. She was my little girlfriend back then.
It's actually been quite common, as Lisa can tell you, for people over the last 2 evenings that don't remember writing the story at all until they hear it read out.